America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, as we get going here, I hope everybody will indulge me tonight because we have no recording secretary, no clerk, so I made up my cheat sheet, so I will be doing all roll calls. Okay, roll call of the board. Trustee Edry?
Here?
Trustee Tuthill?
Here.
Treasurer Winkle-Bazey?
Yes.
Clerk Sedlak? Absent. Trustee Brake?
Here.
Trustee Renko?
Here.
And Supervisor St. Charles is here. We do have a quorum tonight. We can conduct business. The next item is the approval of the agenda, and I will call it the proposed or the revised agenda of 3/19/25, if the board so indulges me. We got some housekeeping to do. We need to add item B, which is Resolution 08, a reimbursement resolution for Fund 590, which is Reich's Farm. Item number C, under 9, Resolution 07/2025, to transfer ARPA funds to various township funds. And 9D, proposal for PFAS evaluation. Most of these are all pretty much housekeeping items, should go pretty fast. And they are on the board table.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed revised agenda dated 3/19/25.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion, we have support, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, at this time, we will open the public comment period for agenda-related items.
Hard pass.
Chief passes. Okay, we will close the first public comment period. We'll move on to the consent agenda. You have the approval of the March 5th, 2025 regular board meeting minutes and the approval of the submitted bills list in the amount of $297,689.90. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Okay, we have motion, we have support. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, motion carries. Okay, we'll go into department head reports. Chief, do you have anything tonight?
Nope, sounds like you guys have a busy day.
Okay, you just didn't want to walk up to the microphone. All right. Tricia, do you have anything for treasurer's report?
Other than just, we're kind of at our, lull right now in between settlement and getting prep for utility billing, at the end of next week. Other than that, just, kind of doing some prep for, fiscal year end and then preparing for the new fiscal year. And that's pretty much it. Everything's going pretty good in my department. And I leave for vacation tomorrow, so.
Well, great. Other than that, and I know with your staff, everything will run smooth like a clock.
Yes, thank you.
With that, supervisor's report, two really brief things. The last 2 weeks, everything's been amended budget. I did submit the MMRMA renewal, which seems every year gets a little more tedious to do the renewal. I've had numerous requests over the last 2 weeks for information regarding setting up SADs for road paving and road maintenance. Well, that isn't slowing down. And the one thing I do want to acknowledge here for the minutes, I have an email from Christina Yeager, our assessor. It went around to, I believe, everybody here at the hall, but it didn't go out to board members, so it's from Christina. It says, great news, effective April 1st, Karen Walter will become Green Oak Township's new assistant assessor. Please congratulate her when you see her. This is a well-deserved promotion. She has worked tirelessly, and I don't mean maybe, supporting the assessing department this past year, preparing for our upcoming audit and improving policies and procedures, while she also worked diligently to achieve her certification as a Michigan Advanced Assessing Officer Level 3 assessor. Karen is a valued member of our township, and it's a pleasure to help her advance her career as a Michigan assessing officer. Congratulations, Karen. I will echo that. Karen has done a fantastic job. I see Karen as someday, when Christina decides to retire, she will step in as a township assessor.
Nice.
And what I like about it is when I have a question, I go to Karen, she said, I'll look it up, and she'll follow me right in my office with the answer. It's basic.
And I will say the same thing, since I started even as deputy treasurer, and she started a month after I did. Her and I kind of clicked in some of the ways that she did things over there in Brighton and how I did things in Hamburg. And from that point on, we've literally had like a harmonious like relationship when it comes to anything. And I think there's only been one time in the last 2 years we've been out of balance, and we were able to figure it out in like, an hour.
Nice.
And besides that, like every single thing that I need from her, she gives me, or vice versa. So it's a really good relationship. And I said that to Christina today, like, she's truly blessed to have Karen. I'm blessed to have Maddie. And we have a really good team working together between assessing and treasury, that it just works really well together, so.
We look at, we've got Christina, and again, we've got Karen, but Cynthia is doing a lot of, work in the assessing department, so we actually really have a nice system going now. And Board of Review went seamless this year, so.
Nice.
With that, and that's supervisor's report tonight. So I said I'd keep it short. Next item, correspondence, there's none needed, so we'll go into business items. We have the 2024-2025 budget amendments. I tried to figure out an easy way to do this, and I went ahead and put the just summation here on the front page, instead of providing you with the 117 pages of budget. They didn't want to kill any more trees. This year, we have 3 funds that I believe we need to amend for the 2024-2025 budget. And the big fund is 101-751-804, and this is for contract services where the board approved to cover our 50% cost of the Meyer Park. That was in this year. So again, we look at the first fund, 101-171-724. That's the supervisor's department. I think I'm fine, but I also think I have some attorney bills coming in, so I want to put in $5,000 into that fund. 702-802, which is the zoning board of appeals. 802 is attorney fees. We had budgeted $2,500. As of right now, we're at $15,000 and change. That is because of the one lawsuit against the zoning board of appeals. And because that lawsuit was not for monetary damages, MMRMA does not cover it unless it's monetary damages. So we had to cover court costs, attorney fees. And Dan very well knows the case I'm talking about. So I want to put in $18,000, adjust that fund to $18,000 and adjusting it by $13,500. And I just mentioned 751-804, and I'm adjusting that from 0 to $62,500. Total changes are $81,000. And where are we getting the money? Michael was very gracious. Elections this year, we are projecting that Michael is going to have somewhere in or around $132,000 left over in elections at the end of the year. And obviously, we have no more elections. So that's where I went. I robbed $45,000 from 704-005, $15,000 from 710. I took $18,000 from 716, and out of his department, 729, I took out 13.5. And that's where I made the adjustments. Went from 16.5 down to 13, so that nets out at $81,000. So net change to our budget is 0.
I just have one question. The very first one you said was legal, but you have it under contingency, is that what you had?
Yeah, I'm putting
Okay.
5,000 into contingency.
Okay,
It's a
makes-
good place to pigeonhole it.
Agree.
You know, and put it there. Will I need it? I'm not 100% sure, but, you know, what gets you is right there, right at the end of the year, you get an invoice in. And that just bothers me. So. That's my proposed budget amendments, and I gave you the color copies so you can see exactly what I did and how I did it.
Do you need us to accept those budget amendments
What's that?
as presented? Do you want us to?
Yeah, you could make that motion to, adopt them as presented.
Yep, I'll make a motion to adopt the 2024-2025 budget amendments as presented in the packet.
Second.
There's Dan.
Yep.
Okay, we have to do a roll call on this. Trustee Edry,
Yes.
trustee Tuthill,
Yes.
treasurer Wigglebazy,
Yes.
clerk Sedlak is not here, trustee Bright,
Yes.
trustee Ranko,
Yes.
supervisor St. Charles, yes. Budget amendments are adopted, and I will point out, when we pass, and all these resolutions basically deal with budget amendments. But with 07, we'll take care of what we need for the fire department with the ARPA fund transfer. So the fire department will be good, police department's good, building department's good, so I feel very comfortable this year with the budget, the way it's turning out.
Good.
Okay, moving on to Resolution 08-2025. Let me get it here. Resolution 08-2025 is a reimbursement resolution and budget amendment for Fund 590 for 2024-2025 budget year, which is a Reichs Farm Subdivision Common Septic Improvements. Instead of reading all the way through here, as we all know, we've got some serious problems with the Reichs Common Septic System. We don't know yet how it's going to turn out, but we are spending a lot of money with engineers. I anticipate that they are going to be deficit this year, so I am proposing with this resolution to infuse out of the general fund $30,000 into 590. And if you read all the way down through the resolution, I do anticipate that in 2025 and 2026, we're going to have to continue funding the additional engineering and probably additional work with our operator to get to a point where we can decide what is it that we are going to do. Are we going to be able to just simply replace their fields? Or is Eagle going to require us to do I call full Monty, which is pre-treatment and an additional storage tank to increase their storage, which will push the cost of their project up over $700,000. This is another one just like Four Lakes. So we are hoping over the next year with engineering that we can get everybody out in Reichs, when we meet with them on April 20th, emphasize there is a tremendous amount of infiltration getting into their septic system, especially when it rains. We notice the flows go up. So sump pumps, water softeners, downspouts, all of them are contributing to their septic field problems. So if we can get all of that off, and then this is why we're going to be doing a lot of engineering and working with the neighbors there. If we can get that off and lower those rates, then we can fall under the 10,000 gallons per day, and then we simply repair the fields. But we got to get there. And this resolution says that any of the funds that we advance to this 590, we will recoup either in user fees, SAD, but that money that we advance, we will collect 6% interest on it per year.
It's only fair.
Yep. We got to do it.
We had to do that at all our SADs with the money that we initially spent, and then all of a sudden they reject it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, if you look at almost any one of our road SADs or sewer or water, we always have a resolution of reimbursement within that document. So on this one here, I knew I had to make a budget transfer, but I knew I was gonna still advance money next year. So knowing that we're gonna advance money, but not knowing how much, this is a nice resolution that says we're going to be doing it, but we will recoup all those funds. Questions?
Need a resolution?
Yeah, it's resolution, so.
Motion to adopt.
I'd like to make sure to approve resolution number 08-2025, reimbursement resolution and budget amendment fund 590 for 2024-2025 budget year, Reichs Farm subdivision common septic system improvements.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Trustee Edry,
Yes.
trustee Tuthill,
Yes.
treasurer Wiggles-Bazey,
Yes.
clerk Sedlak is not here, trustee Bright,
Yes.
trustee Renko,
Yes?
supervisor St. Charles. Resolution is adopted, and I am not reversing orders on this.
Really does a good job of that, I don't know how she does it.
All right, next one is Resolution 07-2025. And this one just came to me this morning, so obviously that's why I'm out of order on this stuff. This is Resolution 07-2025, a resolution to transfer funds from the ARPA funds to various township funds and direct pay expenditures. Yep, Tricia, you got anything else on that?
Just basically that, Ryan from Woodhill, came to Mike last week as well as myself, in regards to the transfer of the $280,000 to put into, Chief Gentry's budget for the, 3 extra firefighters, and that had not been done yet. So Ryan had asked, was there some kind of direction in regards to, transferring those funds? So explaining to him that the original ARPA information, projected list, what's been committed, was what we had. So at that point was when I think between Mark and Mike talked about doing a blanket resolution to cover the things, for one, that have already been paid off of this list, committed and paid, and anything going forward that still has not been done, like the demolition of the fire department and a few other things that are still going to be outstanding. So this kind of covers, so Woodhill Group has that direction to say, okay, when he gets this notification that he has to transfer funds, this is what he has for information for the audit trail showing that it's okay to transfer these funds because of this resolution right here.
Plus that, this resolution with the attached list.
Yes, with the attached
Makes
list,
it
yes.
a firm document.
Yes.
Comments, questions?
And again, I think this is the original list from, I think, August
Yep.
of '23 originally, and then November '23, when Sue presented is, you know, there was 3 tabs. This is kind of what they're projected, and then attached is, I think, committed, and then there's ones that are also listed that have been paid. And this list will be updated as Ryan goes through the general ledger to update anything that's been paid since then. But that's just the supporting document of where all the funds are supposed to be going and what we end up doing. Accounting does a report to ARPA every year, actually, I think twice a year, to file what we have and what we've done.
Which we have that report coming up pretty soon, too.
It's April 1st, he actually
April
has it, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so he has that.
Yes.
But what I think is more important as we get through this year, okay, this is 25, if I'm not mistaken,
It has to be to 26.
what, and by the end of 26,
Yes.
we have to spend all
All the
ARPA
money,
funds.
yes.
So this is a good way to keep track, tidy it up, know what we've got in 26 of remaining ARPA funds, you know, and make sure that we zero out. It has to be zero.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 07-2025, a resolution to transfer funds from the ARPA fund to various township funds and direct pay expenditures.
Support.
Okay, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Trustee Edry?
Yes.
Trustee Tuthill?
Yes.
Treasurer Wigglebassey?
Yes.
Luke Sedlak is absent. Trustee Bright?
Yes.
Trustee Renko?
Yes.
Supervisor St. Charles? Yes, resolution is adopted. Okay, and as I told everybody, I try to keep it really quick. Eagle, as we have suspected they were going to do, actually came out and they sampled all of our monitoring wells and also the effluent coming into the plant. Here is the Eagle email. I didn't put all the supporting documentation behind it, which is about 40 pages. But this is the email from Kevin, and it says, Eagle has received the PFAS results from the plant monitoring wells. PFOA was detected in all the monitoring wells above the 8 parts per trillion, Part 201 groundwater criteria. Also, HFPODA, aka Gen X, was detected in most of the samples, with the effluent having the highest detection of 41 parts per trillion. This is what got me. We have not seen this PFAS compound being detected in samples collected in Michigan. Now that surprised me. This compound is a newer PFAS replacement compound produced in North Carolina. Gen X is not above the current Part 201 groundwater criteria of 370 parts per trillion. But he ends it, we need to meet to discuss the results and talk about the next steps. Now that concerns me, the next steps with Eagle. That being said, here's the story behind the scenes. When this young lady from Eagle came out to sample, Anthony Dawson from Highland Treatment, our operator, was there, plus one of his staff members. And there's no way to sugarcoat this. The young lady that came out did not understand how to run her sampling machine. So we had to physically show her how to do it, which is inconsistent with proper protocols for testing. When she pulled her samples, she did not have latex gloves on, which is, I won't say violation, but it's not within the proper protocols for testing water samples. She also laid her bottles on the ground, which, oh my God. Okay, really? Before Anthony and I throw rocks, we want to be dead certain that these results are accurate.
Did you make note of all these things and
Yes, he
inform
did.
them?
Yes, he
Good.
did. So what I instructed Anthony to do is to get a hold of Mala, who's with ERG, Environmental Resources Group. Now, Mala, she is an engineer that has been working with several of the townships in the area, Hamburg Township, Green Oak, Genoa, all of them, working on PFAS evaluations and, the whole PFAS, PFOA issue. What we want to do is hire ERG. They are arm's length. They have nothing to do with us. They're an independent contractor. They will go out with the proper procedures, proper protocols, and pull the samples and test them at their lab. So we'll have a really good, consistent chain of custody so that when we do sit down with Eagle, they're either right or they're wrong.
Okay.
And so it's 10,000 and change, $10,446.05. This is clearly containable within the operating budget of the sewer treatment plant. But I think this is good insurance for us. So that's why I'm bringing it to the board, and I'm adding it on tonight, because I'd like to cut Mala and her company loose tomorrow morning if I can.
Are you looking for a motion to approve this proposal?
Yep.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the ERG, is that correct? Proposal for $10,446.05.
Support.
Ms. Randy?
Yes.
Okay, any discussion on the motion?
Just that if they, for the proposal to change Anthony's name and spell it correctly, if it needs to be, for the board packet, does it need A?
No.
That's how you spell his name?
That's how you spell his
Okay, well,
name.
guess I just let son do.
You know how long it took me to get used to that?
Okay, my bad. I thought
I
okay.
was thinking the same things.
No, no, it's D-O-W.
I
That took me
retract my,
2 years to get past that.
I retract my conversation on that one.
Okay, we have a motion, we have support. Trustee Edry,
Yes.
trustee Tuthill,
Yes.
treasurer Wigglebassy,
Yes.
clerk Sedlak absent, trustee Bright,
Yes.
trustee Ranko,
Yes.
supervisor St. Charles. Yes, motion passes. And I do thank everybody for bearing with me tonight on this. Okay, with that, discussion items, any needed tonight? Don't sound like it. Now, committee reports, anybody have any committee reports tonight? Executive session is not needed, so we'll open the last call to the public.
Still a hard pass.
Oh, you hard pass, huh? Okay, we'll close the call to the public, and at this time, we'll stand adjourned. Wow, we did pretty good.